Dear students, welcome to the first lecture in the course called Pronunciation. Now, the word pronunciation has 13 letters in it. The word pronunciation is a noun and it has 13 letters. The verb from the word pronunciation, is pronounce. P-R-O-N-U-N-C-E. P-R-O-N-O-U-N-C-E. Pronounce. P-R-O-N-O-U-N-C-E. Pronounce. Now, what does it mean, pronounce? To pronounce means to make the sound of a letter, a word, etc., especially in the correct way. I repeat it. To make the sound of a letter, comma, a word, the sound of a letter, the sound of a word, etc., a phrase, especially in the correct way. And see here, the focus is on in the correct way. Now, before I start talking about this, the word correct way, let me give you the meaning of the word sound. The meaning of the word sound. Sound. The sound. What does it mean? Sound. Sound in the dictionary, says something that you hear or what can be heard. He says synonym. What about the synonym of the word sound is noise. Noise. So sound means noise. Now because you are listening and I am making what? Noise. I'm talking, I am making what? Noise. So the sound is a noise. Okay, right. Now let's go back to the word pronounce, and we said that to pronounce means to what? To make the sound of a letter, word, etc., especially in the correct way. So now I am here. The focus is on the word correct way. Now, how do you pronounce, or how do you make the sound of a word? Let's talk about words. How do we make the sounds of a word correct? Of course, it means that unless you know the sounds, or the sounds in that word, you cannot pronounce the word what? Correctly. So because of the need for this, then we need to know the sounds where. In English, I mean, when I say the sounds of a word, whether it is in English, in Arabic, in French, in Spanish, any language, right? So now it becomes clear that pronunciation deals with to make the sound of a letter, the sound of a word, etc., what? Correct. Means when you produce the word, when you pronounce the word, when you say the word, you say it in the correct way. How do you say a word in the correct way unless you know, or unless you already know what are the sounds in the word that you are pronouncing? So because of this, we need to know the sounds, because knowing the sound will help to pronounce the word, any word, correctly. Now, because now we are talking about English. So because we are not native speakers of English, we are native speakers of Arabic. We need to know the sounds of of English, because unless we know them, we cannot pronounce the word. We can, or if we make an attempt to pronounce a word without any knowledge about sound, this means your pronunciation might be, or possibly, or not possibly, but for sure, it's not going to be the right pronunciation, the correct pronunciation. So it means you are going to mispronounce. Because you are going to mispronounce the word, the listener might not understand you, and this is a big problem. Right. Now, this course deals, because after this introduction, this course then deals with mainly sounds. It does not deal with letters. It deals with sounds. Right. So we gave the pronunciation of sounds. Now, in English, there is a problem. Because we are native speakers of Arabic, we are going to suffer from a problem in English. What is the problem? The problem is, in Arabic, now the word letter, harf, and the word sound, sawt, are used interchangeably. I mean, when we say that this word has 3 letters, it means it has a 3 sound. When a word has, this is in Arabic, when a word has 5 letters, it means it has what? 5 sound. So there is some sort of matching correspondence between letters and sound in the word, because of the meaning of the word sound and the meaning of the word letter is used. The meanings of both are the same. They are the same. Letters and sounds, there is no difference. They are used interchangeably. Right. In English, no, there's a problem. What is the problem? The problem is that in English, they distinguish between letter and sound. Letter is not sound. There is a difference between letter and sound. Now, right. Let us see now what is the we have given the meaning, the lexical meaning of the word sound, and we said that sound means what? Noise. Now I am making noise now. Now what about letter? Now what does he say about letters? He says here he says letter is a sign. Letter means a sign in writing or what? In writing or printing that represents a speech sound. Okay. Now, so you see, we said that sound means noise. Noise. Now, I am making noise. What you can hear is sound, noise. Now, what about letter? He says letters, that this is the lexical meaning of the word letter. In the Longman Exams Dictionary, he says this. He says, letter means what? Means a sign. So the letter is a sign where in writing or printing that represents what? A speech sound. So now the letter is a sign that represents what? Speech sound. He says here there are 26 letters in the English what? Alphabet. Okay. So now I think it's clear that letter is a symbol or a sign that is used to represent what? What? Speech sound. So now each sound has a letter, a symbol. That symbol represent what? That sound. Now, because he has mentioned, he says here, the sentence here, he said, given in the dictionary, he said, there are 26 letters in the English alphabet. First of all, let me mention something very important. When I say alphabet, by alphabet, al-abjadiyya in Arabic, alphabet, by the alphabet, we mean the number of letters in that language. In Arabic, for example, we have 28 letters. It means there are 28 letters or 29 letters in the Arabic alphabet. There are 26 letters in the English alphabet. Right. So when we talk about the alphabet, we mean the number of letters were in a language. Very good. Okay, good. Right. Now, because letter and sound in English are distinct, they are distinguished. Letter is not sound, sound is not a letter. This means that, how do we prove this? To add or to shed more light on this, we can say that letters, this is clear from the alphabet. In English, we have 26 letters. The English alphabet has 26 letters. But when we come to sound, we find, as we are going to know later on, that we have 44 sounds in English. So imagine that we have 26 letters, we have 44 sounds. So you can see how letters and sounds are not the same in number. And this, of course, this says that letters and is something, and sound is something else. And this is clear, this is obvious through what? Through the number of letters in the English alphabet and the number of sounds were in English. Right. Now, here, because of this, now let me, before that, now the English alphabet, they start with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. We start with A, we end in Z. Good. Now these letters which constitute the English alphabet, five of these letters are what? Are vowel letters. They are A, they are E, they are I, they are O, they are U. So when you subtract five vowel letters from the English alphabet, this means that you are going to have 21 letters. These letters are consonant letters. So we have vowel letters and we have consonant letters. The B, for example, the D, these are the consonant letters. The E, no, the F, the G, the H, the J, the K, the L, the M, the N, the P, the Q, the R, the S, the T, the V, the W, the X, the Y, the Z. These are what? They are consonant letters. Now, so this distinction between vowel letters and consonant letters, we have similar to this we have also consonant sounds, and we have what? Vowel sound. So the first thing that you have to put in your mind is that in the same way, here is a similarity, for example, between letters and what? Sound. What is this similarity? Already we said that sounds and letters are different. Okay, we are no question about it. But when we come to the types, the types of what? Letters and the types of sound, we have a main division. Sounds and letters are divided into a main division. What is that main division? Sounds can be vowels and sounds can be letters. Consonants. Similarly, what letters can be vowel letters, which are um, 5, and 21 are what? Are consonant what? Letters. Right. So now let's come to the number. We have known that we have five vowel letters in English, and we have 21 consonant letters in English. When we come to sound, when we come to sound, we in English we have 24 consonant sounds. We have 24 consonant sounds. I will show them to you later on. And we have 20 vowel sounds. So 24 plus 20, they are going to be 44 sounds. So in English, we have 44 sounds. 24 of them are consonant sound, and 20 of them are what? Vowel sound. What about letters? We have 5 vowel letters, and we have 21 what? Consonant what? Letters. Right. So now here is also something very interesting. What is it? Now, because you see, the letters which I have just read to you, they are, let me write them to you. These letters, from the letters in the English alphabet, we said in the definition of letters, it is a symbol. Now the letters in the English alphabet, we are going to make use of them as symbols for the sounds. So how many consonant sounds do we have in English? We said we have 24 consonant sound. How many consonant letters do we have? We have 21. So we need 3 symbols for the 3 remaining sound what in English. And we have 5 letters, 5 vowel letters in English, but we have 20 vowel sounds. So we need what? We need also extra what? Symbols for the for vowel sounds. Now these symbols that we need to represent the remaining what? Vowel sound and the remaining consonant sound, we are called what? Okay. He says here there is something. Now, when we want to produce, let me read to you this point. What is this point? Is he says, if we cannot use the letters of the alphabet, in a consistent in a consistent way to represent the sounds we make. Let me repeat this. If we cannot use the letters of the alphabet in a consonant, in a consistent way to represent the sounds we make, because we do not have enough letters, how do we go about describing the sounds of a language like English? We need to describe the sounds of English. How do we describe them? The solution to describe them, because we do not have enough letters that represent the sound, what do? We have to produce separate alphabet with symbols. But these, see here also we have alphabet, but what sort of alphabet which do not represent the letters? No, alphabet that represent the sounds. These set of symbols that represent the sounds, not the letters, are called phonetic what? Alphabet. So now, let me write it to you here. We said we have, first of all, alphabet, alpha, A-L-P-H-A, alphabet. Alphabet, by this we mean what? We mean the number of letters in a language, whether English, Arabic, French, Spanish, any, etc., etc. But when we talk about this, what we call phonetic, P-H-O-N-E-T-I-C, phonetic what? Phonetic symbols. Phonetic what? Phonetic symbol, alphabet, sorry. Phonetic alphabet, A-L-P-H-A-B-E-T, phonetic alphabet. Here we mean the sounds. So now, I want you now to understand it better, or as I am going to explain. So when we say just alphabet, when I say English alphabet, when I say Arabic alphabet, I mean the letters in that language. But when I say phonetic alphabet, phonetic, see, there is the word phonetic before the word alphabet. The word alphabet is a noun. Phonetic here is an adjective. It describes the alphabet. So when I say phonetic alphabet, I mean the sounds, the symbols that represent the sounds. Okay, so now it is clear, I think, that we are distinguishing between two things. First of all, we are distinguishing between alphabet, which we mean by, what do we mean by alphabet? We mean the letters in a language. Now, when we talk about phonetic alphabet, no, here we mean what? The sounds, the symbols that represent what? The sound. So put in your mind that there is a distinction. There are two types of alphabet. First of all, we have alphabet, just alphabet. We say English alphabet, Arabic alphabet, French alphabet, etc., etc. What do we mean by this? We mean the number of letters. Okay, very good. Now, when we come when we talk about phonetic alphabet, no, here we talk about symbols. Also, we have symbols. These symbols represent not the letters as in the alphabet, but they represent what? The sounds. Right. So now I think it is clear. I mean, the purpose beyond this introduction is to put you in the picture that there is, in English, there is a distinction between letters and between what? Sounds. And this is very important to know. In Arabic, we don't have it. So now, what is the suffering? Then what is going to be the suffering when knowing or when studying what? English pronunciation. The suffering is that we in Arabic, it is common that any letter represent what? Each letter represents a sound. That this letter represents that sound. In Arabic, in English, no, it is not like this. In Arabic, in English, we are going to suffer from more than one problem. or more than one sufferings. More than one suffering. What are these sufferings? The sufferings that we are going to suffer from, or the difficulties or the problems that we are going to suffer from we're learning English is, first of all, now we have what we call mute sounds. Mute. What does that mean? There are letters in English. For the first thing that we are going to suffer from is we are going to have letters in a word. The word has a number of letters, but unfortunately, now this letter, although it is what written, but it is not what pronounced. In Arabic, of course, this is not, it is something strange. We do not have it. If we have it, it is very rare, very rare, very rare. Seldom, very seldom we face a word in which the letter is written but not pronounced. I don't want to talk about this because I don't want to confuse you now, since this is the first lecture. No, this is the first. So we said the first suffering is that we are going to have what? Letters in a word, but this letter is not pronounced. Let me give you a very good example. Take the word knife. Take the word. Let me. Take the word knife. K-N. Sorry. Knife. K-N-I-F-E. Knife. Now the word knife has how many How many letters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 letters. Now, how do we pronounce it? We say knife. Now, where is the K? What about the K? The K is silent or mute. Knife. Knife. We have the ne. We have the ne. Well, we have as a vowel, consonant sound. Then we have the I, vowel sound. We are going to learn about these. And then we have fe. Just 3 sound. How many letters? We have 5 letters. What are the? This means that 2 letters, they are written, but they are dropped in what? In a pronunciation. Dropped. They are not pronounced. We deal with them as if they are not existed. They are existed in writing, but they are not existed in in speech. The K, the letter K and the letter E, the final E. This is what they are. Both of them are mute. They are not pronounced. They are silent. So this is the first suffering that we are going to suffer from. So let me write this note. What is the note? The note is in English. Sorry for using small letters. Just in English. In English. We suffer from what? We suffer from letters which are written but they are not pronounced. P-R-O-N-O-U-N-C-E. This is the first thing that we are going to suffer from. Okay, this is the first thing that we're. And the example, what is the example? The example is the word knife. K-N-I-F-E. 5 letters. How many? The letter K and the final letter E, they are both mute. They are silent, as if they are what? Not existed. They are existed in writing, but they are not existed where there is no representation of these 2 letters in sound. I'm sorry. In speech. This is the first point, the first suffering. What else are we going to suffer from in English is that in English we are going to have letters, sound which is represented by more than one letter. This is the second suffering. Let me write it. We are also going to suffer from what? We are going to suffer from from that 2 letters represent one sound. As in phone, P-H-H-O-N-E. Now the word phone here, the PH is represent both the P and the H, the P and the H, 2 letters, they represent one sound. What is the sound? The sound F, as in fire, for example. So I see that the thing that we are going to suffer from is that we are going to have 2 letters. These letters represent one sound. Okay. Another example. We have also the word rough. We also have the word rough. R-O-U-G-H. Rough. So here the GH, 2 letters, they also pronounced as F, one sound. So we do not have this in Arabic. In Arabic, we have each letter represent one sound. So see that now the sufferings that we are going to face, what we are going to suffer from. The sufferings are like, first of all, we have what? Letters which are written but are not pronounced, as in the word knife. What else? The second suffering. What is the second suffering? The second suffering is that we are going to have 2 letters. We are going to have 2 letters. These letters are what? are pronounced as what? One sound. Right. What else are the suffering? Now the suffering also in a so you see the sufferings here, which I am going to add more, as it is given here by O'Connor, is that because of this distinction which I mentioned at the beginning of this lecture, that in English they distinguish between what? Between letters and what? And sound. So these are the consequences. The consequences of this distinction between what? Between letters and what? And sound. Right. Now let us see. Now O'Connor is going to add to these what? Sufferings. Now these sufferings also here he has in his book the textbook that we are adopting as the textbook, which is called Better English Pronunciation. Now he in the first chapter he has a section sorry, the section is called Letters and Sounds. He says in this section, he starts like this. He says that letters and sound, this is the name of the section. The first line, he starts like this: these must never be mixed up. See what he says. These must never be mixed up. It means they have to be kept separate or distinct. Letters must not be what? Mixed with what? With sounds. He says, before I start with the what he adds, he says letters are written, sounds are spoken. So you can see now they are distinct, they are distinguished. How do we distinguish between letters and sound? So sorry, though I have mentioned this, but never mind. Now this is what he said. He's a native speaker of English, and he's talking about his language. He says that letters in English are, in any language, are written. What about sound? The sounds are spoken. Right. Now let us continue with this suffering. Now what does he gives us? I mean, in addition to these two suffering that I have mentioned, here he adds another suffering. What are these sufferings? He says that he says like this: English spelling is not always easy to know. What sounds the letters stand for? What sounds the letters stand for? See here, what is the suffering? Let's take these words as he has given to us. What are these words? The word city, C-I-T-Y. Sorry, C-I-T-Y. I'm sorry, I'm starting with examples, and then I write the suffering. City, and then we have the word busy, B-U-S-Y, busy. And after busy, we have women, W-O-M-E-N. Then after that, we have the word pretty, P-R-E-T-T-Y. And after pretty, we have the word village, V-I-L-L-A-G-E. So we have city, busy, women, pretty, village. What does he say? He says that the letters the letters what? I says the letters I right, and the letter I, sorry, I, not L, the letter I and the letter Y, sorry, I, comma, Y, comma, U, comma, O, comma, A. How many letters? 5 letters. 5 letters. He says that all stand for the same vowel sound. So now what is the suffering? The suffering, I'm going to write it. Now, different letters different letters have the same, or stand for, sorry, different letters stand for the same sound. For the same sound. So now, city, I, busy, Y, busy, U, women, O, pretty, E. Or here, I didn't mention the letter, I didn't write the letter here, I didn't write the letter E, I write it, sorry, E, sorry, E, oh, sorry, yeah, E. So we have city, I, busy, U, women, O, pretty, E, village, I, and the Y in pretty, and busy, and city. Now these 5 letters, they are pronounced they have the same, they stand for the sound, the same sound. What is it? I. City, busy, women, women, pretty, pity, village, 5 letters. I, Y, U, O, A, E. 5 letters. 5 letters. 5 letters. 5 letters. What they pronounce, they stand for the same what? For the same what? For the same